Now question hour to resume. Questions? Questions? No. There is that paper. What taken away? No. Yes, sir.
Question number 241. Mr. Narayanan. Questioner, please.
Where is it?
Let the question be answered.
Yes.
Question 241. Yes, supplementaries, please. Silence, honorable members.
Shall I ask you a question? Hello? Sir? May I ask you the question? Yes. I have seen the answers. I have seen the answers given by the minister, honorable minister, but
Silence, please.
in 200
Honorable members, please sit down.
yes, in 213 CBC had mentioned that maximum number of cases of corruption or complaints about corruption had come about railways. In railways, what we find is, in that year there were 11,243 complaints and a large number of officials were proceeded against. Now we find in railways corruption occurs in at various levels. From the level of the members of the railway board down to the lower officials at various levels, corruption is occurring. There, in awarding contracts, in awarding works.
Question, please.
Yes, I am just coming to that question. See, in supply, in all these things, not only that, in catering, also in providing tickets, in reservation of tickets, and all these, we find there are corruption. My question is the government taking necessary steps to see that this chain of corruption that is occurring in railways is being prevented? Because this is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, I agree with the honorable member that there have been instances of allegations, complaints and grievance expressed by various affected people about the corrupt practices operated by at various levels. In fact, it is also true that one of the members of the board was also accused of that, and in fact he is under suspension. There have been other instances as well at various levels, and therefore I fully agree with him, and therefore I also agree that we need to take corrective steps, which I will mention few of them which are already taken. So number one, all this in award of contracts. Personally, as a minister, all my powers have been delegated to the general managers. At the level of general managers, we are trying to put in place a system whereby there could be a complete transparency. We are trying to introduce the e-tendering system at almost all levels. We are also trying to find out how the appointments, because that was also subject matter of corruption. We appointed chairman, members of the railway board, general managers and DRMs with almost utmost transparency as was possible. And you must have noticed that what you have done in the last few weeks, there has not been a single instance in which people have alleged any wrongdoing on that part. So we need to change the system. We also should take absolutely stringent action to prevent such practices being repeated. We also requested Mr. Vinod Rai, who was the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, whose integrity is impeccable. He has become advisor to me as a railway, and I am trying to use his knowledge as well to make it happen. So I will assure the member, we are trying to take as many steps as possible in as many areas as desirable to make sure that the corruption is weeded out over a period of time.
Thank you.
My second question is this. See, to prevent corruption at the lower levels, we have to see that, as the minister has rightly mentioned, it will be open board, it will be very clear. But timely handling of issues at various, whether you have transfer, appointments and various things, that my question is, will you introduce a system at various levels to see that there is no chance for corruption?
Sir, this is absolutely right. Corruption could take place because of two reasons. One is the system itself is completely susceptible to corruption, or the people who operate the system are having corruption in their mind. So we have to act at both levels. As I mentioned, we are trying to make systemic changes, as many as possible. At the lowest level that you mentioned, sir, we have introduced a portal which I had announced in the budget on 26th of February. On following Monday, within 3 days, we actually put that portal in place, which is a customer redressal complaint, where it is the first time we could also post a picture taken. For example, you see somebody demanding 100 rupees from you in the train. You could use your mobile as a weapon, take the picture, load it on our complaint portal. We'll follow it up through. You can see the tracking of that complaint on an ongoing basis, and then we'll be able to know that. But I fully agree with you. There are 13 lakh employees working in railways. There are various levels at which commercial transactions take place. We have to keeping a vigilant watch to make sure that all corrupt practices are stopped. We must bring in as much transparency as desirable and necessary, which are committed to do. I will assure the members that we all work together to weed out the corruption from railways.
Thank you, Shri Tarun Vijay.
Sir, I congratulate the Honourable Minister for bringing systematic changes in the entire mechanism. But I would like to ask the Honourable Minister that there have been very serious instances of corruption and many officers were arrested and a railway minister had to resign. What are the cases and the details about the action taken against those corrupt officers, number one, including the instances that even 1 hour before the departure of the train, 2 hours before the departure of the train, you get the tickets from New Delhi station, Old Delhi station and some other stations. These are the things that irritate and give a lot of hassle to the genuine passenger. So I would like to have the information about the action taken against the corrupt officials and the changes that you are bringing to stop such incidents in the future.
Thank you.
The number of action taken is already mentioned in the body, but I will repeat if you want. In 2014 only, there are against number of complaints investigated with 2,735. The preventive checks conducted during the same period for the same reason that you mentioned were 21,566. The officials punished includes Group A 7, Group A below JS level 76, Group B 148, Group C and D 7,000, and total number of such cases where the action has been taken is 7,231.
Thank you.
Sir, as far as, sir, just one point he mentioned, also very important one, that there are instances wherein there are hoodwinking of a system by the touts, by actually fleecing the people when they actually book the ticket. So it's an ongoing operation. In fact, recently, in the last few days ago, 3-4 days ago, we discovered that there was a system which was operating by some vested interest to make sure that they could book the ticket within a fraction of a second. We have again taken preventive action, and hopefully we have to keep doing this. There is always somebody who wants to hoodwink a system is probably a step ahead of us. We have to be again 2 steps ahead of him to make it happen and prevent it. Is an ongoing exercise which will continue to do it.
Shri Ravi Prakash Verma.
सर, रेलवे बहुत बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और सच्चाई तो सर ये है कि रेलवे को घाटा खाली भ्रष्टाचार के कारण ही लग रहा है। मंत्री जी ने जवाब में बताया है कि रेलवे में सतर्कता संगठन है जो समूची रेल प्रणाली में फैला हुआ है। सच्चाई तो ये है कि भ्रष्टाचारियों का भी एक पैरेलल तंत्र है जो पूरी रेलवे के अंदर फैला हुआ है। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी को बताना चाहता हूँ आपके माध्यम से कि ये जो रेलवे ट्रैक कंपोनेंट्स मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एसोसिएशन, इन्होंने मुझे एक प्रतिवेदन दिया था जो मैंने मंत्री जी को दिया है। वो बताते हैं कि किस तरीके से सिस्टम के अंदर रिगिंग करके ये जो स्प्रिंग होते हैं जो पटरी में लगने वाले, इसमें बहुत बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार किया जा रहा है और सर इन्हीं कारणों से बड़ी बड़ी दुर्घटनाएं घट रही हैं। आज भी एक बड़ी दुर्घटना रायबरेली के पास में घटी।
प्रश्न पूछिए।
सर रेलवे को बहुत नुकसान होता है। मैं माननीय मंत्री से पूछना चाहता हूं कि ये जो भ्रष्टाचार का एक बहुत बड़ा तंत्र जो फैला हुआ है रेलवे के अंदर, इसको दुरुस्त करने के लिए आपके पास में क्या इंतजाम?
से अलग अलग कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं जिसके कारण व्यवस्था में सुधार ला सके। साथ साथ में मैंने यह भी अभी बताया हमारे सम्मानित सदस्य को कि कितने ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस थे जहां पे स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन ली गई है, तो दोनों चीज साथ साथ में करनी होगी। आपके साथ भी ऐसे कोई सुझाव होंगे तो दीजिए, आपके साथ कोई इंस्टेंसेस होंगे तो बताइए कि जहां एक्शन लेने की जरूरत है। मैं आपको बिल्कुल आश्वासित करना चाहता हूं कि उसके खिलाफ हम एक्शन तुरंत ले लेंगे।
श्री भूपेंद्र सिंह।
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Corruption and nepotism is there in B, the main question. We have been now discussing about corruption. Nepotism, regarding nepotism, I would like a straight question from the Honorable Minister that when the food grains and the fertilizers are being transported in rakes, intentionally that is being delayed for weeks, it is kept, and the minor minerals and other things, the goods trains passes, and I have reported this time and again. That is a type of nepotism shown towards the rakes, which is going fertilizers, for which there will be a black market. If a rake is to reach within 24 hours, takes 7 days. It remain kept on the side. So I would like to know such nepotism where is going on, whether the ministry has will take stringent action against those nepotism, those who are doing such type of nepotism.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
favoritism to the
Thank you.
especially for the minerals,
Thank you.
other produce.
Sir, railway is a transporter. It's an agent of the person or an institution who wants to dispatch certain things on railways as per the dispatch order. If the dispatcher wants to deliver a particular goods at a particular place, we strictly go by that. In this case that you mentioned, the Ministry of Fertilizer,
Please
under
don't
the
comment,
fertilizer
let him
dispatch
finish.
rules, is authorized to tell where the fertilizer should go, where it should not go, and therefore we strictly follow that order. Of course, there is already a challenge before all of us to find out how do we deal with this very big problem, because there is always some particular peak demand when there is a sowing season, either Kharif or Rabi. At that particular time, there is a big demand for fertilizers, particularly urea. What has happened, it has changed the complexion a bit, is that we are importing urea in a significant quantity because the domestic demand for urea is not as much as we can satisfy the demand through the domestic supply. So as a consequence of this, there are some challenges, but we work very closely with the
Thank
Ministry
you.
of Fertilizers and we try to address it.
Thank you.
Sir, this time the
Thank you.
cooperation of railways has been fantastic. I want to thank
Thank,
him.
thank you. Thank you. Question 242.
My question 242, sir.
242. Let the 242 be answered.
Sir, the statement is laid on the table of the House.
माननीय अध्यक्ष श्री, मेरा जो सवाल है वो हाउस में बैठे हुए सभी माननीय सदस्यों को स्पर्श करता है, क्योंकि सारे भारत से हम यहाँ आते जाते हैं। इसलिए आपके माध्यम से माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं मंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूँ कि रेल में जो खाना दिया जाता है, परोसा जाता है, वो जरूर अच्छा है, लेकिन एक ही टाइप का होता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ये जो बॉम्बे दिल्ली राजधानी है, अच्छा है, माने खाने लायक है, लेकिन एक ही टाइप का है। अभी मेरे को पूछने दो ना। एज फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बॉम्बे दिल्ली राजधानी में और अहमदाबाद राजधानी में शाम को जो खाना परोसा जाता है, इसमें ज़्यादातर मटर पनीर और मटर कैप्सिकम होता है, आलू गोभी और आलू फूल गोभी होता है, और सब्जी और दाल और पुलाव। लेकिन सीजनल अगर सब्जी सरकार इसमें चेंज करना चाहती है कि नहीं, और सिर्फ रोटी देती है अध्यक्ष जी, उसके बजाय गेहूं की रोटी, सूरज जी, प्रभु जी, तो उसके बजाय बाजरे की रोटी, ज्वार की रोटी और मक्के की रोटी भी आप देना चाहते हैं कि नहीं? बस इतना ही मेरा पूछना।
Thank you. Thank you.
सर, मैं सम्मानित सदस्य को धन्यवाद देता हूं। कि इन्होंने बहुत ही अहम सवाल उठाए। ये मैं बिल्कुल उससे सहमत हूं, क्योंकि मुझे भी पनीर अच्छा नहीं लगता, क्योंकि लेकिन मैं वेजिटेरियन हूं, तो लोगों को लगता है पनीर ही हमें वेजिटेरियन लोगों का खाना होता है। तो मुझे लगता है ये बिल्कुल सही आपका सुझाव है। मैं समझता हूं कि आगे आने वाले दिनों में मैं आपको आज ही आश्वासित करना चाहता हूं कि इसमें पूरी तरह से हम रिव्यू करेंगे, और वैसे ही अभी शुरुआत तो की गई है कि किस तरह से एथनिक कुजिन उसमें ली जाए।
Thank you.
काफी अभी 4-5 अलग अलग मेन्यू है, लेकिन उसमें और सुधार करने की जरूरत है। लेकिन सर मैं एक ही छोटी सी बात बताना चाहता हूं कि लोगों को चॉइस देने के लिए हमने क्या किया। हमने फरवरी महीने में 1 महीना पहले एक नई सिस्टम शुरू किया है कि जिसमें यदि यात्री चाहे तो कहीं से भी खाना ऑर्डर कर सकता है। ऐसा नहीं कि चेन्नई में तमिलनाडु चेन्नई में मुंबई से ऑर्डर किया जा सकता है, लेकिन वहीं की जो लोकल कुजिन है वो आप ई कैटरिंग में ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं। उसकी डिलीवरी आपको रेल स्टेशन में आपके सीट पे दी जाती है, और ये हमने नई शुरुआत की है। उसमें लोगों का प्रतिसाद भी बहुत अच्छा है। तो मैं मानता हूं बाजरे की रोटी आपको ई ऑर्डर करके आपके पहुंचने की जरूरत की जाएगी।
थैंक यू। दूसरा प्रश्न
मेरा एक मिनट, मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न माननीय अध्यक्ष ये है कि कभी कभी ट्रेन में सूप दिए जाने के बाद आधे पौने घंटे तक खाना परोसा नहीं जाता है, और उसके कारण सुरेश प्रभु जी हमको भी लड़ना पड़ा है, कई सदस्यों को भी लड़ते हुए मैंने देखा है। और जब हम पूछते हैं कि ऐसा क्यों होता है तो बताया जाता है कि हमारे पास एक और डब्बा जोड़ दिया गया है, इसके कारण हम ये सर्विस नहीं दे सकते। तो मेरी माननीय मंत्री जी से विनती है कि जब जब ज्यादा डब्बे जोड़े जाए तो ज्यादा कर्मचारी को सरकार वहां इस्तेमाल करवाना चाहती है कि नहीं, कि जैसी जो सुविधा हमको मिले वो अच्छी हो।
थैंक यू
सर। ये भी बिल्कुल सही है, मैं इसमें बिल्कुल सहमत हूं सर। ये पूरी केटरिंग की व्यवस्था को हम दोबारा देख रहे हैं। कुछ बेस किचन शुरू करने की हमने ऐलान किया था बजट स्पीच में। हमारी ये चाहत रहेगी कि हर डिवीजन में कम से कम, या कितने डिवीजन में जहां संभव है वहां पे एक बेस किचन अच्छी तरह से बनाई जाए, ताकि लोगों को हर 2 घंटे में अच्छा हॉट मील लोगों को मिले।
थैंक यू।
पेंट्री कार लगाना ऐसे एक सेफ्टी से भी जुड़ा हुआ सवाल है। आप जब पेंट्री कार गाड़ी में रखते हैं तो उससे भी एक सेफ्टी के सवाल भी शायद खड़े हो सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं समझता हूं कि ये पूरी व्यवस्था को निगरानी करके और कुछ महीनों में इसमें जो भी सुधार करने की जरूरत है वो करने के लिए हम बिल्कुल रहेंगे। अभी मैं कह रहा था, मेरे साथी ने मुझे बताया कि 333 ट्रेन में, सर 333 ट्रेन में आज ई कैटरिंग की सुविधा उपलब्ध है। तो यदि राजा जी चाहेंगे उसको तमिल खाना मिलना चाहिए तो उनको मिलेगा, यदि हमारे डायरेक्ट चाहेंगे उसको बंगाली खाना चाहिए तो वो भी मिल सकता है, और प्रफुल्ल पटेल को गुजराती और महाराष्ट्रियन खाना एक ही टाइम मिल सकता है।
थैंक यू। श्रीमती अंबिका सोनी। Thank you, please. नहीं, Praful ji, it's not your question.
Sir, I thank you.
Please.
I know that the Minister Railways is a very sincere person and wants to do things in a very radical manner. But if we start step first, I want to ask him, the menus, and whether it's a paneer or a Maharashtrian dish or an Andhra dish, can be decided later. Recently, before the railway budget was presented, one of the principal channels on Indian TV conducted a very in-depth survey of all the kitchens in some of the biggest trains in the country. And after seeing that pictorial, sir, it is impossible to take anything, eat anything on any train if you have seen that survey which was conducted. I would like to ask the Honourable Minister that in his desire to radically change the catering services, he has said in his answer that there is a monitoring cell. Why is the Minister willing to to begin with, regularly, somebody from the monitoring cell in some of the principal trains to supervise the cleanliness and the lack of hygienic conditions in your trains, so that the passengers can have clean and tasty food.
Thank you.
बिल्कुल सर, जो हमारे सम्मानित सदस्य ने कहा, मैं उनको बिल्कुल ये बात सही है। ये टीवी पे दिखाया गया था, मैंने भी इस बात को देखा, इसकी बिल्कुल जांच पड़ताल हो रही है। और सर हमने 2 और सुधार किए, मैं मानता हूँ ये शायद पर्याप्त नहीं है। एक तो ये किया है कि ऑनलाइन और फोन पे ऊपर आप कंप्लेन कर सकते हैं, उसके इमीडिएटली उसके ऊपर एक्शन ली जाए, लेकिन ये बहुत मुझे लगता है एक पर्याप्त नहीं है, उसके भी और सुधार करने की जरूरत है। दूसरा, थर्ड पार्टी इंस्पेक्शन किया जाता है ऑन एक्रेडिटेड एजेंसीज, जिसको चुना जाता है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद ये हो रहा है। ये बिल्कुल आपका सही है कि ये होने के बावजूद ये हो रहा है। इसके लिए हम इसकी पूरी तरह से जांच पड़ताल करके जहां भी सुधार करने की आवश्यकता है और संभव है उसको करेंगे। मैं आपको बिल्कुल कहना चाहता हूं कि मैं भी इसमें पूरी तरह से मैं नॉट सेटिस्फाइड फुल्ली विद दिस, विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू डू एज मच एज पॉसिबल।
श्री रामनाथ ठाकुर।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से रेल मंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि जिस तरह अस्पताल में प्रतिदिन बेड बदलने का काम होता है बिहार में, उसी तरह रेल विभाग पर डे सब्जियों का और खाने का बदलाव करना चाहती है।
वो हर रोज करना शायद संभव होगा कि नहीं मुझे मालूम नहीं, लेकिन आपके लिए अभी एक पर्याय उपलब्ध है। आप हर दिन नया नया खाना यदि ऑर्डर करना चाहते हैं तो ई कैटरिंग से कर सकते हैं।
थैंक यू। श्री त्रिची सेवा।
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, would the minister consider about the old-aged patients, passengers who are traveling, and some patients who got some complaints? Will you take some steps to supply diet food as per prior orders? And so also, you have also given some regional cuisine. In order to make it complete, you can include curd rice, which will help all type of passengers as well as those on.
Thank you.
See, when I was replying to the budget discussion, one honorable member suggested that we should have a tea which is sugar free. I immediately said yes, and I am very happy that the member of traffic has immediately contacted the people, and therefore we are working on it. This is also a good suggestion. Diet food is a good suggestion, but I am not 100% sure that curd rice will 100% be a diet food, but we will definitely do that as well because I also like it.
Thank you. Question 243. प्लीज। नहीं, इस पे आप सजेशंस दे दीजिए, आप भेज दीजिए मंत्री जी को।
Make it complete.
नहीं, अब ये खत्म हो गया है। This question is over. Please.
Is laid on the floor of the house, sir.
Mr. Parida, please.
Sir,
आप कराइए, जरूर नोटिस दीजिए।
want to bring it to your notice that the business process outsourcing companies, which is short form is BPO, they are concentrating their work in the metro cities. Now they are also planning to go to the rural areas to find the talents and provide the opportunities the rural youth to know about the employment facilities and to avail it, sir. So I want to know from the minister, honorable minister, which are the states in India who have taken interest to provide the facilities, infrastructure to these companies to function in the rural areas.
Thank you.
Indian IT industry is growing enormously. About 30 lakh people are directly employed and a large number of about 1 crore indirectly employed. But when we came to this in government, we found that hardly 8-9 cities are catering to the IT needs of India. We have taken one initiative to go northeast. That proposal is already in place, where we are going to establish call centers and BPOs in all the 8 and 9 states of northeast. And other policy for establishment of BPOs in small mofussil towns is in place. You talked about specific states. States like Karnataka, states like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu are encouraging it. But all the states have to become proactive as far as land availability, water availability is concerned, because BPO in small towns and northeast is going to generate big employment.
Thank you.
Therefore, I would like that cooperation from all the states.
Second question, please.
Second question is, I want to know, since this program is being implemented in some of the states, there are many states, suppose in Odisha, like Odisha, there are many states where they are also, many of them, they don't know it. And especially the BPO companies, they are not taking interest also. So for those states, what the central government or the concerned ministry is taking the steps to help the use of
Thank you.
those steps.
Thank you.
Well, once as in case of Northeast, once the scheme is finalized, in case of BPO in small towns, there will be incentive. But the state governments have also to supplement the incentives in terms of energy, electricity, land and other infrastructure. Because as the honorable member would appreciate, that call centers are linked by wire through internet. Therefore, work can come from New York to Washington to Dhankanal and Bhubaneswar also. Therefore, if proper enabling atmosphere is there, surely we are working in that field. I would appeal to the honorable member and to all the states of this house that BPO in a small area is a big game changer and we all need to work collectively.
Thank you, Shri Nachiappan.
We fully appreciate Honorable Minister's intention and his dynamism. But at the same time, the present availability of the system by BSNL is very poor in the rural area. And we need a gateway for making this BPO. For that also, there is no facilities, no machineries are coming up. I can take my own constituency, Sivaganga, and also the Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, we have taken up Maravamangalam. These are areas where many of the software engineers and graduates are available. They want to have the job. Will the government will take up the issue aggressively to take the facilities at the rural level for having the 3G facilities and the gateway facilities so that BPO can come up?
Thank you.
Concern of the honorable signal member is well taken. There are issues. I think what is important is that the National Optical Fiber Network program, which our government has unleashed in a very aggressive way on mission mode, linking 250,000 Gram Panchayat to optical fiber network is in place. BSNL problem is well known. Why this problem happened, as I have said earlier, a company having a profit of 10,000 crore in 2004 is having a loss of 8,000-9,000 crore now. Who was responsible is a larger question. But my commitment to this house has been that we will restore the health of BSNL. All have to work together. They are going to install 25,000 plus towers in the country under the 7th phase. All we are doing, the future is bright. We have to work together.
Thank you. Very quickly, Mr. Patel.
Sir, I think the two things which are most important for BPO's establishment all over the country is first the proficiency of the English language, which fortunately in our country is, gaining a lot of popularity. So that's a good thing.
The proficiency of the minister or?
No, language proficiency. The second thing is, sir, about the OFC, the pipe, basically, ultimately the data has to be processed fast, which Mr. Nachiappan just pointed out is a problem. Only limited issue is, you have talked of incentives from the state. What is the incentive the central government would provide in this matter? You have not spelled out.
As far as the incentive for Northeast is concerned, the government of India is giving 1 lakh per seat.
Beyond Northeast.
As far as beyond Northeast is concerned, as I said in my initial reply, the policy is still in the stage of being finalized. Proper incentives shall be there.
Why don't you extend that to all
Please,
the
please.
districts of the
Nane Prafulji,
backward districts?
please.
I get your point. The policy is being finalized. But what is important is, Mr. Patel, honorable member, the center and the state have to work together, have to walk together.
Thank you.
The incentive of the center must be supplemented by incentive from the state.
Thank you, Shri Badnor.
Sir, my question here is that will the minister consider that if there is infrastructure in the rural areas, because you don't have to have a city, a mega city to have BPOs. So if the infrastructure is there, then the BPOs can only work and it can also be an incentive for the migration to the mega city. That will also stop. So that it can be a generation for the employment and
Thank you.
density of
I'm afraid
optical
the
fiber is not there. That's why it's not coming.
Question hour is over. I'm sure the Honorable Minister will take your concern on board. The House is adjourned till 2:30 p.m.